What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to part 2 of our 2021 MLB opening day season preview, where we break down our top 20 best players in the MLB. I'm Brooklyn. I'm here with my boy Ju. Before we get started, if you didn't see our first video, we broke it down from 20 to 11. We're going to link that right somewhere over here. Make sure you check that out and come right back over here to find out our top 10. So, before we get into it, drop in the comments who's your favorite team that you're rocking with, who you feel should be in the top 10 if you like what we're doing, like who we got, and hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure to stay up to date with all our videos. And yeah, you got anything else before we get started?
Oh, let's get right into it. It's day 2. Opening day was yesterday. Today is Friday. Everybody's playing today. Let's go. So,
sir,
you started off. I started last list. You start this one off. Number 10.
Number 10, we got from the Washington Nationals. Well, one of the best pitchers in the league, man, Max Scherzer. The dude's an animal. He's a stud. He's Mad Max. You don't want to see the psychopath on the mound throwing you 100-mile-an-hour fastballs and then cutters that are just going ridiculous and the whole kitchen sink. You don't want to see it. What Max Scherzer does on the field is ridiculous. Over 600 strikeouts, a 2.85 ERA. The dude's a machine.
And these stats are from, if you didn't see it last video, these stats are from 2018 to last season. So it's a 3-year gathering of all the numbers we're throwing at you. It's not career stuff.
No. We're just giving you a little
He is
chunk.
better than 635 strikeouts career, I promise.
Yeah, we're not really holding too much weight over the 2020 season because that was just a whole debacle, only having 60 games, just all the circumstances surrounding it. So we don't hold too much weight on that, but we digress.
We digress.
But yeah, 460 innings pitched, so he's available.
And a World Series
ring. Him and his boy over there winning World Series MVP, leading the Nationals to get a ring along with the other boys. But Max Scherzer's a dog, bro. He's a dog. So I got him starting off our top 10, and then we gonna kind of snake this, go 10-9, and then bounce. Go like that. So I'm getting another Washington National at number 9, Juan Soto, baby. Go ahead, do that Soto shuffle. This dude's scary. This dude is scary, bro. He's only been in the league for about 3 years, and he's already putting up ridiculous numbers.
That's true.
A 972 OPS, 295 batting average, 69 home runs. Nice. 328 hits, and he could steal a couple of bags here and there. Got 23, but the presence in the box. For somebody this young,
22.
From his rookie year, he was an animal. Well, let's just get that out of the way. He was just, you don't want to see him. But now him getting better and better, being able to work the strike zone, being able to command the plate, being able to just lead a team a little more and have more confidence in himself. Not that he really needed it, because he started just as confident as ever, hitting the best pitchers in the league and taking them deep. So at number 9, I got Juan Soto.
Juan Soto. So you got 2 Nationals.
Got 2 Nationals.
9 and 10. All right. Number 9 for me. He was on your last video. He's a little bit higher in mine. I have Anthony Rendon, former National. So we got 3 of those World Series guys right off the bat to start this list. I think Anthony Rendon's the best third baseman in baseball. He has a 15-9 WAR in the last 3 years. He's been really undervalued, I feel like. He doesn't hit a ton of home runs, but he does have 67 in that time span. He's been really undervalued by a lot of people. I think because before the World Series, he was just really good, but everybody was looking at Nolan Arenado, Manny Machado, not so much Alex Bregman, but like Jose Ramirez. They were looking at those guys at the position, and Rendon's kind of flew under the radar, but the numbers have been there. He has a 954 OPS, which is absolutely ridiculous. He's a little better in average at defense at third. I don't want to say he's like the best at third base as a defender. He is really good, though. We're not going to pretend that's not true. I think he's the best third baseman in baseball. He's on a weird team with the Angels. He's making that money, though. He does deserve that. I have him at number 10. And then for number 9, going to the National League out in Atlanta, I have the reigning NL MVP, Freddie Freeman. The best first baseman in baseball. I don't think that's too much of a debate. Although last year we had 2 first basemen win MVP, which is kind of interesting. That's actually super strange. That probably won't happen again for a long time. Freddie Freeman had a really good year. It's really strange that you see guys that hit lefties this poorly, but hit overall insanely well. It's partly because last year we only played in the East. He was on the Mets, or not the Mets, the Braves. So he was only playing against East teams. There's not any good pitchers that are lefties in those divisions outside of Chris Sale, and Chris Sale didn't play last year. So it didn't really matter that he didn't hit lefties all that well. He 12.5 WAR, 9.43 OPS. He's really good. He's the best defensive first baseman, which matters for something. I mean, it's a position that you don't need to be great at defense, but he is really good at it. And he's just one of the reasons that the Braves are a National League favorite. They're probably the 3rd most favorite team in terms of World Series odds in the National League, and he's a big reason for that. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Freddie Freeman, number 9.
Cool. So, my number 8, I gotta go with another starting pitcher from the Yankees, Garrett Cole. Cole Train. Well, there's not much you can say about Garrett Cole. What he did on the Astros was just ridiculous. Being one of the best pitchers in baseball, just mowing everybody and anybody down. And then still doing that with the Yankees. He gives up a decent amount of home runs. But
those are the only runs you want up.
Yeah, when you're a power pitcher, just throwing it down people's throats, like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So I got Garrett Cole. He's sitting at just under 700 strikeouts in 3 years. Did you hear me?
It's insane.
I don't think that hurt.
It's a lot.
700 strikeouts in 3 years.
It's a lot.
That's ridiculous.
It's a lot of strikeouts.
Now the ERA is a little bit high because, like we said, you give up the home run.
If a 2.7 ERA is high, I don't want to see a low one. There's a lower one on this list.
He's just under he's just under 500 innings. So we mentioned availability a lot, and that's what you get. And then again, one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's scary to face, and you don't want to see him. Keeps getting better, and yeah, he's a dog. So Garrett Cole sitting at number 8, and number 7. You mentioned him just a little bit ago. Reigning MVP, Atlanta Braves, Freddie Freeman. Not the Mets. Yeah, like I'm not gonna harp too long because he just went into it, but dope lefty, really dope bat. He can make it happen. He can get big hits when you need to. Don't sleep on it. He gets a lot of them too. 440 hits, 74 home runs, a 308 batting average, and 943 OPS. Like the production level is there, and he's a big reason why every year the Braves are a contender, or at least a favorite, and if not the NL East, the National League altogether. Yeah. So
I agree. So that was 7 and 8 for you, right?
Yep.
So for number 8, this guy was also a little bit lower on your list. I have him up a little bit higher. Trevor Story, best shortstop in baseball. He is really, really good defensively. Mm-hmm. He's maybe the fastest guy in the league outside of Trey Turner.
Yeah.
He's just really, really speedy. Kind of like sneaky speedy, because when Story kind of came onto the scene, it was because of his big bat. He was hitting home runs after home runs to start his career. Sneaky speed. It's a real threat, honestly, too, because he steals quite a few bases. Yeah. He is at, you mentioned it last episode, I'll look it up real quick, 65 stolen bases since 2018, which is a lot for a guy that you don't want to get hurt. He does play a lot of games. He has a 13.5 WAR and a 909 OPS, which, like I said last episode, is actually better, both of those, than Cody Bellinger. So if you're sleeping on Trevor Story. If you're saying it's the Coors thing, I know I don't have Arenado on my top 20 because of Coors. I think this guy plays a lot different. I do want to put that out there.
Okay.
He gets a lot more base hits. He has the wheels. He plays a much more difficult position defensively, and he plays it just about as well. And he's a top of the lineup guy, so you're not expecting bomb after bomb. He doesn't strike out as much. I really like Trevor Story. Shortstops are absolutely incredible in this league, and he is absolutely incredible. Trevor Story is going to end up somewhere else next year outside of Colorado, too. I have no idea where, and I will give my right kidney for him in a Yankee uniform. I'll do it.
No. I'll get my left. Somebody getting the whole package.
You have 2 whole kidneys. Sew them together. Number 7 for me. I have a guy that a lot of people kind of forget about, I feel like. This is a guy who he didn't have the best year last year. A lot of advanced analytics will kind of tell you that it was mostly luck. He hit the ball just as hard as he ever did. He just kind of got like unlucky outs that were kind of at people through shifts, things like that. That's going to change just because baseball is baseball. Yeah. Things are different.
It's a weird sport.
It's a weird sport. Christian Yelich. This is a former MVP. He has a 16-2 WAR since 2018, is it? I think that's the third highest among position players, or fourth highest among position players in that span. He has a 1.005 OPS, which is only behind Mike Trout. This guy absolutely puts on a clinic. I think he has the best swing in baseball currently, outside like Robinson Cano. Because I'll still count Cano. For the swing. He has my favorite swing in the league. Whenever he hits the ball, it's just hit insanely hard. He's an analytics guy too, so he doesn't hit a lot of ground balls. He elevates the baseball. He has a 3 home run game. This is a guy who, with having a bad season last year, has 92 home runs in those 3 seasons. He was pretty bad last year in terms of results. He has 92 home runs since 2018.
And those 92 home runs came with that home run race with him and Bellinger, which was just ridiculous.
Well, and that's the crazy thing, too. That home run race happened, and Bellinger wound up winning MVP that year, right? That was the second year?
I believe so.
I think that was the second year where Bellinger wound up winning MVP. And now you're looking at the numbers now, and Yelich is better in every offensive number, which is just crazy because they felt so close, and they still are really close. They're both great. They're both young. We love them. They're the only guys the MLB have decided to advertise in the last decade.
Yeah.
I love Christian Yelich. I would love to put him higher. I think he maybe is better than 7, but it's hard to discredit fully the lack of results last year and how bad the Brewers are going to be this year. So I have him at 7. That's my guy, though. That might be my favorite player in baseball.
Fair enough. So we up to 6 now, huh?
Yes.
I got old McDonald Ronald Acuna, another Brave, or Met in your case.
Another Met.
Another Metropolitan. Ronald's scary. Ronald's explosive. He's one of the most electric players in this league.
We were just talking about speed a second ago.
And he got a lot of it. 61 stolen bases, a 909 OPS, 81 home runs and 342 hits. Come on now. Again, he's only been in the league, 3 years too? About maybe 3, 4?
Yeah. He's another one of those younger guys.
The young talent in this league is ridiculous. If you follow our podcast,
he's only 23.
Yeah.
Soto is 22. He's 23.
We talk about it all the time with the MLB. The young talent in this league is ridiculous. It's crazy, and Acuna is definitely one of them. Well, what he does to the Braves, right next to Freddie Freeman, leading this team to be contenders every year, being favorites, being a powerhouse in the National League and the MLB in a whole. Come on, man. So I got Ronald at number 6, and then at number 5, Christian Yelich. The dude is a stud, and he was so overlooked when he was in Miami, and he just got
for peanuts.
Just got tossed over there to Milwaukee, and now he's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that came out of Miami, which is just ridiculous, they ended up being really good.
Stanton, Remuto, Yelich,
Ozuna. Like, Derek Dietrich is bouncing around, like Domingo Armand. You got people all over the league that have came from the Marlins' whole just blow up. So it's wild. And Christian Yelich has benefited from it. I don't know what it's been, but he sits at a 1,000.005 OPS.
Again, second best in baseball in the span. There's only 2 guys above 1.
Yeah. So,
There's only 2 guys above 1.
And you could guess who number 1 is.
Yeah, so.
Because he's probably number 1.
Yeah, no, he is.
So he's sitting at a 308 batting average, and like you said, 92 home runs, man, with 56 stolen bases.
That's the crazy thing with Yelich. 56 stolen bases from him. He's not a particularly fast dude. He's mobile, but he's not like. He's not Acuna. He's not Trevor Story. I almost said Bauer. I'm like, what am I doing? He's not Trevor Bauer. He's not Trevor Story. He has 56 stolen bases. That's kind of crazy, and that's not a part of power hitters' games. But he still likes to do it.
Absolutely. So yeah,
number 5
that's it for that.
Cool. I have number 6 and number 5. I'm gonna say them at the same time. It's really a toss-up to me who you can say is better. A lot of stats will point to one over the other, but then if you look at like results and wins and like impact towards winning, will point to another guy. So Garrett Cole, number 6, Yankee stud, World Series winner. He's really good. He's just really, really good. He should have 2 Cy Youngs. He doesn't have any. That's fine. Who cares? He's just really, really good. He's on the Yankees. The other guy's on the other New York team. Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom has maybe been the most dominant pitcher over the last couple of years we've ever seen. He should have 3 Cy Youngs in a row. They kind of just didn't give it to him last year for the same reason you don't give it to LeBron every year in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's stupid. Awards are weird. I don't get it.
Like, just give it to the best player.
Just give it to the best
Why do we have to do all these politics and, I don't want this guy.
Or maybe not the best player, but the guy who did the best season. Like, give it to that guy.
Yeah, like it's a stat-based award. Give it to the statistically best player.
No, just give it to deGrom.
That makes too much sense, though.
No, don't do too much sense. 2.1 ERA in 3 years. There was a point in his 2018 campaign where if the Mets scored 3 runs every game, he would have been like 28-0. But the Mets couldn't score that year. They had a really particularly bad offense.
Mets gonna Met.
628 strikeouts and 18.7 WAR, which is absolutely nuts. Pitchers kind of get WAR a little bit easier because clearly they have a direct impact on winning, especially when you're really good. But 18 is nuts because that's 3rd in baseball in this span.
Yeah.
Jacob deGrom is insane. Garrett Cole's insane. They pretty much are really similar pitchers. They're both fastball heavy guys that throw 100. They throw hard sliders. They have really sneaky good changeups. They pitch really similar. deGrom has a little bit of more sneaky pop on his fastball. It's like a little bit faster just in general. Garrett Cole is just a spin rate guru whose spin rate gets better and better every year. If his spin rate gets better this year, he might not give up a hit.
I hope so.
I really like both of these guys. I wanted to make sure they were 5 and 6 because they're clearly the 2 best pitchers in baseball. There's not a whole lot of separation, especially since Cole has been getting better, and then deGrom has been good since 2018. So I kind of wanted to make sure that was important there.
Fair enough. So at number 4, I got deGrom too, and a big part that you mentioned is, if the Mets were just a little bit better with the bat, the man doesn't lose. Like, maybe he gets a couple, but
he was under 500 in 2018 and won Cy Young, which obviously wins don't matter at all as a pitcher. Clearly, they don't matter at all.
Yeah.
But he would have had like 28 wins. Which is ridiculous.
What Jacob deGrom has done in this league is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Will go down as one in history. And he's just a force. Like, if the Mets can just give him some type of support behind him and with the bat.
Yeah. It sucks to have a shutdown Game 7 pitcher and not get to the playoffs.
Exactly, man.
And
Exactly.
he
like,
can't.
You
A
got
pitcher is not going to be able to get you to the playoffs either.
No, like you need run support. Like defense can only take you so far.
But this is turning into a Mets thing. We're not going to do that here.
Yep.
You got the DeGrom at 4. I got him at 5.
Yeah, right there. The third one, you could say this is a little high. I think it's a little high too. I think it's a little high too.
He was on my last list, so.
But I do think this guy brings a lot to his team. You say that he kind of gets overshadowed just because they're stacked and he doesn't really add nothing.
Well, I didn't say add nothing. I said the other guys equally add, except for one who does a lot more. That's what
one does do a lot more.
That's what I said.
And that man is coming up soon.
That's what I said.
Man is coming up soon. But Cody Bellinger. I do think he's a stud. I think defensively, being able to play any position in the outfield is huge, and being able to play first as well. Decently high OPS, sitting at 9, mid to average batting average is what it is. But he can swing the bat, man. He can swing the bat. He did have not the best 2020 again.
Similar to Yelich kind of deal.
I don't really hold too much over that.
He did win a World Series though.
Did win a World Series and was big in the playoffs too. He
had the one home run that was huge. He wasn't super great.
That was my dark horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bellinger was my dark horse. Going off of the first 2 years though, I do think he is a powerhouse in this league and is one of the best players in the league. And I do believe he will continue to contribute and produce and put up bigger numbers. He's still a young player as well.
Yeah, he's only like 27.
He's only been in the league, I think, since 2016 or 2017.
16.
So,
rookie year.
He's another super young player that is continuing to get better, and I do believe he is at the top of the league. So,
yeah. I had him at 11. I didn't feel like that was super disrespectful. 3 is really high.
It is, but...
And here's why 3 is really high. Number 4 and number 3 for me. 2 better outfielders than Cody Bellinger. They're younger. They're faster. They hit the ball harder. And I just think that these are 2 guys that are absolutely insane. Number 4, Ronald Acuna. Talked about him earlier.
Nope.
Steals a lot of bases. He just has insane power versus righties. And we've mentioned this before. Most of the league is righties. So if you he hits the ball so hard against righties. He's really, really fast in center field. He's kind of a good outfielder. Like he is, but like sometimes he makes stupid mistakes. But he's like a really good outfielder.
Yeah.
Like statistically he is. But then you watch him and you're like, is he? Really strange with that. He's only 23 years old. He has an 11.7 WAR in his time. I'm gonna look at your stats too here. Higher OPS than Cody Bellinger. Higher average than Cody Bellinger.
Mm-hmm.
More home runs than Cody. Or no, he has less home runs than Cody Bellinger. Bellinger is 84? 84. He has 81. But he's younger. He's getting better. And I think that's kind of the point with these next 2 guys. They're already putting up ridiculous numbers. This guy's comparable to Cody Bellinger, and he's 23. And we're talking about prime Cody Bellinger.
And the thing is with Bellinger, though, we also mentioned being able to be on the field. He's played he has over 1,500 plate appearances. So the numbers will be a little bit lower just because you're getting more at-bats and more appearances. Yeah. So that's why it brings it lower. But being able to stay healthy is a big thing as well. So
yeah, no, you're definitely right. And Bellinger's been healthy his whole career. I really like Acuna, though. He's 23. He's getting better.
Absolutely.
Again, if he can, not take such wild swings on pitches out of the zone, and because he has a really high whiff rate, if he can kind of figure that out, this guy is going to be really good. He's not a number 4 for projections. I just genuinely think he's the 4th best player. I think he's the 4th best outfielder in baseball. It's the most stacked position by a mile. Ronald Acuna Jr. Number 3. Juan Soto. At projection-wise, I think if he stays healthy and he gets better every year, it's hard to get better every year, but he gets more discipline or adds something to his game every single season. and he stays clean. He stays out of all the nonsense. This could be potentially the best hitter of all time.
Yeah.
It's kind of that.
It's hard to argue with.
It's kind of that serious. You mentioned his
argue.
discipline. He is insanely disciplined at the plate. Like, it doesn't actually make sense for a young guy to be this disciplined in a division with really good starting pitching.
Yeah. And when you got to face the pitchers on your team every day in practice and simulated games, you will get better.
Scherzer, Strasburg, Patrick Corbin.
Like, you will get better.
Those are really good guys. Juan Soto is really kind of an anomaly. He didn't play all of 2018, so his WAR isn't as super high. He only has 69 home runs in this time. Right? Nice. Like 2 of those. Look at that. Look at us. He has a 9.72 OPS. Absolutely ridiculous. You had him really low on this list. I kind of see it. His defense isn't there. Mm-hmm. He's also a left fielder, so who cares? Mm-hmm. As long as he's not doing Eloy Jimenez things where he's getting hurt going for balls in the outfield, which Eloy's done twice in the last 2 years. Yeah. That's just bizarre. Again, if Juan Soto stays healthy, he's going to be a guy that hits 40, 50 home runs every year. He's going to drive in 100 home runs. Or not home runs, Jesus. 100 RBIs. He's a 300 average guy, which doesn't really matter. But, like, it's cool.
It's something.
It's cool. And he's an on-base percentage machine.
Yes.
And stats that really matter in this game: OPS, on-base percentage, home runs. He's good at all those. He's 22 years old. It's stupid. Juan Soto. It's dumb. We have the same top 2 because if you don't have these guys as your number 2 and number 1 respectively, your list sucks. I know our list isn't probably very good, but your list sucks if these aren't your 2 best players. Who's number 2?
Man, from what he did with the Red Sox, what he did with the Dodgers, just an animal with both, champion with both, MVP.
Imagine trading this guy.
Imagine trading him. Boston fans. Are you okay?
Let him back.
Let him back?
Let him have a good time. They're going to be better this year. Let them be. Let them be, bro.
981 OPS, 314 batting average, 77 home runs, and 56 stolen bases, 420 hits, and almost 200 RBIs. Mookie Betts.
20 WAR.
20 WAR.
Second best in baseball. Mookie Betts is pretty much second best in baseball in almost every stat besides OPS. OPS, Yelich's second best. Mookie Betts is third. Like, it's kind of.
He can play anywhere in the outfield.
He can play second base.
You wanted to play the infield?
Play second base. He can probably play third.
Probably play anywhere.
He can probably do it. He's super athletic. He's the best bowler in baseball.
Yes.
He's the best bowler in baseball. He's the best former Red Sox in baseball.
His glove is ridiculous. The plays he makes.
Yeah.
And we talked about that clutch.
Oh, he got it.
He got it all.
Nobody has it more. I think he has it more than anybody else.
Mookie.
Will you argue that or against that? I feel like he.
I don't think I can.
I think he is the clutch guy.
I don't think I can because you look at some of the stuff he's done in this league, and it's ridiculous.
When it matters, he's on base. When it matters, he's knocking in runs. He has 2 World Series, and they're because of him.
Yeah. Like, he is the guy.
He's just because of him.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
Like,
he doesn't have either of the MVPs, though.
No.
A little Steph Curry action. No MVPs. All the rings, no MVPs.
Hey, it don't mean a thing without a
Especially in baseball, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Baseball.
But what he does, and we've been harping on availability a lot.
He's always there.
1,500 plus plate appearances.
In 3 years. That's ridiculous.
That's a lot.
It's like actually ridiculous. A drop under 200 RBIs. One thing I do want to say, Mookie Betts is the weirdest player in baseball because I mentioned it earlier with the lefties with Freddie Freeman. Mookie Betts is a worse hitter than Freddie Freeman against lefties, yet he's a righty, so you would think like matchup wise it makes sense. Mookie Betts is like objectively bad. He's like in the bottom 40% of the league.
But since there's not too many lefties,
but since there's no lefties,
it doesn't even matter because he's not seeing them.
The only good lefty in that division is Clayton Kershaw, and then they just added Blake Snell. Big reason why the Padres added Blake Snell. That's actually something to look out for because if those 2 teams wind up being a game with Blake Snell and Mookie Betts is rendered useless might really matter. That's really the only reason, aside from like not being the leader in every single stat, but like if just eye test, the only reason you couldn't put bets above Trout, in my opinion, is like there is a flaw in his game, and it is hitting against lefties. I do want to put into perspective real quick. Guys who have ever been in the 40-40 club, 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases. In the last 3 years, Mookie Betts has 77 home runs and 56 stolen bases. That's 3 seasons. It's like 2.5 because last year's like a half. If you're ever in the 40-40 club, you're insane.
Yeah.
You're cracked. You're just cracked. Number 1, Mike Trout, best player in baseball, best player of all time. I'll say it. I'll do it.
No, there's no argument there.
I'll say it.
Like 1.070 OPS. We mentioned there was only 2 above 1.
This guy's significantly over.
The next highest is Yelich with a 1.005.
It's like he's significantly above Yelich. He's significantly above everybody else. Every single important hitting stat, including ISO, everything but average, because who cares about average for like a guy like Mike Trout? That doesn't matter. He has OPS, OPS plus, on base percentage, home runs, ISO. All the important stats he is in first for. WAR, everything. He's the best. He's won MVP, what, 3 times? Should be 7 times.
In the conversation for MVP every single year.
He's been first, second, or third every year in his career, but last year where he was 5th.
Ridiculous. And in the last 3 years, 101 home runs.
2.5 seasons. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Like, I think our highest is Yelich at 92.
Yeah, Yelich is the next highest. So he's 9 behind.
And that's because him and Bellinger went nuts with juice balls. Like,
I mean, hey, everybody played with juice balls.
No, I'm just saying though, like that it's ridiculous. is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. There's not an argument that can be made besides that he's not the best defensive center fielder. He's good. He's a really good defensive center fielder. There's a million clips on YouTube of him robbing home runs.
No.
He's not the best defensive center fielder.
The only argument,
but he's like the top 5.
No,
like, who cares?
Literally, the only argument you can make is he's not winning, and that's a product of his team and all that.
Yeah, and we're not gonna get into why the Angels haven't been winning.
Yeah, we can make a whole YouTube video about that. If you want that, put it in the comments. We'll give it to you.
We can do that.
What? This ain't that party.
That's a whole other party that we're not invited to as of now.
I don't want to be invited to. I'm not RSVPing.
I'm staying home and I'm watching a movie.
I'm watching the Yankee game because the opening day
the Yankees
is
do win.
past us. The season is upon us.
Thanks. That transition though.
And I am excited, bro. I'm excited.
We're excited. Season's starting up. A full season starting up. We're hoping everybody's healthy, like in terms of all the good players.
And we got fans in the stands too.
We do have fans in the stands. Some places a little bit more strict than others, but we have fans, not just in the World Series, but for the season. Mm-hmm. So you do have opportunities to go see your favorite team.
Yep.
When they're in town, make sure you're doing whatever you need to do to be safe. Go watch some baseball. Get the MLB TV app. Do whatever you got to do. Watch some games. Enjoy this. It's the best time of the year. Summertime's great. It's getting warmer in most places. And baseball's here, so.
Baseball's here, bro.
Let us know what you guys thought about our list. Number 20 through 11, last episode.
Make sure you go check that out.
Go check that
out.
out.
I'll link it again for you somewhere,
Number
somewhere
10
over here.
through 1 in this episode. I love it. I love my list.
I like my list.
I love it. You probably hate it. That's fine.
Go
Mike Trout.
That's all that matters.
That's the only thing that
matters.
matters.
All that matters.
Trout and better at 1 and 2.
We're here to give you the bad stuff.
That's him.
That's both of us.
Thank you guys, as always, for stopping by. Take it easy. We'll see you next time.